Not to complain, but there's actually too much magic out here.
Like a thick fog when it really settles in.
Got the key slot. And unfettered access to the Enclave's capital.
Amazing, Bryn.
Denevron awaits.
shallow pious shrine all the way out.
The Archon expands. Pre-surge, the Arcs trod this passage daily to transport and farm resources from the outskirts.
Mm.
Impressive, Bryn. We're on our way to Denevron. Thanks to you.
Everyone helped. I just did my part.
In a well-run band, everything takes teamwork, that's for sure. But don't downplay your role in this. Since you've been Crisis promoted to Point, we've felled a great arc, restored a construct, and now we've got access to the Enclave's capital. Not everyone could accomplish what you have, let alone in our current circumstances. In fact, most would crumble under the pressure.
You know what? You're right. I am killing it out here, aren't I?
Ah, good. I don't need to worry about you devaluing your contributions.
Nah, I know I'm kick-ass. But it really means a lot to hear it from you. You know, I look up to you. A lot.
You won't need to for long. You're doing great out there.
Thanks, Aurea.
Now, enough talk. You've got a city to explore.
Sev mentioned something about Udea using Aeroliths, like Taza.
That's true, yes. It was well before my time, but they are not well regarded in our history.
What happened to them?
You're aware Udea had legendary trade fleets that made it the richest federation in the Maida.
Yes, but not since the... Oh.
It turns out when you rely on magic to keep your harbors safe, and magic itself breaks in something like the Surge, there's a price to be paid.
Lane, any thoughts on why the mayor of Poldervale kept a key swatch to Denevron in his home?
Not personally, but I do know what the Poldervale Watch suspected about it.
Really? How?
At the back of the logbook, those on watch would leave small notes for whoever was taking over the next shift. Most of it appears to be idle gossip, but apparently popular belief was that the mayor had a mistress on the side.
Ah, a wife in Poldervale and a mistress in Denevron.
Instantaneous travel would be necessary to not get caught.
Goodness. Small towns are the same everywhere, aren't they?
What is there to do in them but talk?
You seemed a little discouraged earlier when we were talking to Dom.
I was. I know he means well, but sometimes Dom's enthusiasm can be a bit much.
He seemed supportive.
Oh, he is, but let's just say sometimes he latches onto an idea without considering alternatives. It's fine. You're sweet to ask. Not too heavy, not too light. Try to bring this back in one piece.
Warrior's wing because of the sun.
proud of this one.
On a stormy night back home, their roars echo in the howling winds.
The only way to strengthen power is through active harvesting.
That's enough Diane's chorus. Just need to grab those ink caps, and I'll have everything laid as for. If I pick up any more of these, I'll have to spend an entire day scrubbing the ink off my hands. Anyway, this should be enough of everything for Lane. I've brought you a bag full of what looks like Arthur's breakfast.
The ink caps and sprigs of Diane's chorus. Lovely. And Oria didn't have any problems with Watcher's Wisp.
She noticed a pretty immediate improvement. Seems like it worked a treat.
Wonderful. I'll keep on producing the solution for her then. Another project on my to-do list. How delightful.
We're not overloading you, are we?
Quite the opposite. If I only had one thing to think about, I'd be tearing my hair out in frustration. This suits me. For example, since this began, I've been thinking about what else I could do with those glowing plants you collected. Perhaps I could mix up glow-in-the-dark ink, for example. My focus is on utility, though. And one must ask, would glow-in-the-dark ink be helpful? What do you think?
Perhaps it could be used to make maps that you can read by starlight.
I don't know. I read all of my research materials by lantern light, so I don't know if it would be especially useful to have glowing maps.
If it were up to me, all my maps would glow in the dark. But I use them differently than you do.
Oh, of course. I hadn't considered that perspective at all. Perhaps I should try researching in the dark to better understand how you operate.
I don't think you'd make much of a dent in your workload. But sometimes it's nice to sit in the dark with only your thoughts. It's worth a shot.
Very true. After all, the idea for enhancing Watcher's Wisp only came to me while I was staring at a tree.
A tree?
Upon further reflection, I don't think I could possibly make that make sense to you. My point is, as you suggested, idle thought can indeed yield wonderful dividends in inspiration. Nevertheless, I will keep you abreast of any developments, though I think this project may fall by the wayside in favor of more pressing concerns for now.
Absolutely. Do you need anything else? If not, I'll leave you to it.
Not right now. Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
Bryn, a moment. I'm collecting data, surveying the team, so to speak. One question is all I need answered. Do you think Ava deserves a share in any rewards for the work undertaken by the Weaver Band?
Of course. But we might have to find something other than gold and jewels to shower her with.
Further elaboration is optional, of course, but what comes to mind?
Back in Carnhaven, we took our pack beasts to the hot springs. I think she'd love a spa day up in the mountains, don't you?
Oh, that's very good. I'll make a note of that.
Anything else you need?
No, that's quite enough for now. Thank you. I took a break from work earlier to watch you on the scry. The way you take down those giant beasts, it's breathtaking. Poetry in motion, even. If you weren't already journaling your exploits, I'd be dedicating page upon page to them.
I don't get to see myself from the outside very often.
Alas, if only I were an accomplished artist.
Too bad. I want to see what I look like when I'm exploring places that haven't been seen for decades.
Even without pictorial aids, you look brave, confident, powerful, ready for anything.
You had those adjectives ready to roll. Been watching me a lot.
Yes, it's what naturally came to mind, promise. Words are more my specialty, as I said.
The architecture in Nevern is simply magnificent.
Incredible.
I've traveled all over, but I've never seen a city quite like this.
Denevron. The Enclave's capital city. The architecture was built to accommodate the Enclave's largest archons.
Good. I thought I'd shrunk using the loom gate.
The city looks as though it's been completely abandoned.
Let's break down the search. Who's got ideas?
Government and archives will establish a history. The closest government buildings can be found in the steppes. You're clearly in Upper Denevron, so according to our map, it shouldn't be far.
People need supplies. Supplies are in markets. And the market's in Lower Denevron.
And there's the Bastion on the edge of the city. The military would be involved in any disaster response, and the surge certainly counts. 3 good leads. Bryn, it's your call. Watch the tangles coming out of that chasm. The surge hit this place hard.
And look, more coral.
Must have been growing below ground.
Would explain why there's so much damage here from the surge.
Maximilian Arden, founder of the Enclave. Judging by the size of this statue, he certainly wasn't shy about his accomplishments.
That arch should lead you to the lower city.
A body. Ahead. Outfit looks like our spying friends.
So, it's a uniform.
There's a note in his pouch. New drop. Market Loomgate, it says. But... wait. Under his mask, he's... scorched. Aurea, this looks like the wound on your wing. Only... it's... everywhere.
But there's no tangle there.
No, it's clear.
Concerning.
I think we should look into that drop his note mentioned.
Especially if it's near a loom gate.
There's a small compartment here, hidden in the statue, already open and empty.
I often heard that as you entered the perch, the bustle of Denevron would begin to crescendo until it peaked in the market. The Tattered Mantle. I've heard so many stories of this tavern. Always rowdy.
Careful. A sledgeworm can throw things over 3 times its size.
The Undergreen. This is where the seediest of deals were done.
Mantle.
Denevron was hit hard by the surge too.
Perhaps even harder. It looks as though it's been ripped apart.
Broker's Arch, the market gate.
Same spot as the last statue. Struck a vein, as my dad used to say.
Wait, I was half listening. Are you hurt?
Metaphor. Her dad was a miner.
We've got a tally sheet of some sort. Series of numbers below. And a bunch of garbled text below that. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I might.
For a band of weavers who just discovered a long-lost city, you don't look very excited.
The prospect of imminent death has put a dampener on things.
While you were out, I found a note. A warning, actually.
We suspect our Hearthsider friend snuck back into the camp.
The letter cautions us that a phenomenon referred to as the Flood is hot on our heels. The Flood is essentially a torrential wave of deadly raw magic that will completely overtake the outskirts and Denevron. Apparently this is a cyclical disaster preceded by extreme weather. Anyone caught in it will die, meaning us.
The tangle-scorched body you found must have been killed by it.
Hence, we're taking the warning seriously.
This all just sounds like more good news to me.
Seriously, do you have a death wish or something?
Is no one else seeing the silver lining here? The Hearthsider warned us. We've been questioning their motives, but clearly they want us to live.
True. But it's not like they told us how exactly we should go about surviving this impending flood of miasma.
Maybe there's something stopping them from telling us more. Or maybe they assumed we were capable enough to figure it out on our own. Still, I'd bet our scry that they want us to survive this. And more importantly, the fact that they warned us at all means we have a chance.
If this flood is cyclical, it means the Hearthsiders are surviving it somehow. Maybe they have a safe haven on high ground, or enchantments of some kind. All this means is we need to track down the Hearthsiders now more than ever. As though...
As though our lives depend on it.
Yeah, that.
I must ask, to step from here all the way to the capital, what did it feel like?
Arriving in the city felt exhilarating, I guess. If that's what you mean.
No. Denevron's amazing, we know. I'm asking about the sensation of being transported such a distance. So far, you'd only done tiny hops through the loom gates. Was there any notable difference crossing hundreds of leagues?
Truthfully, there wasn't much of a sensation at all. A flash of light and I was in Denevron. That's it.
Oh, I see. I guess I was hoping for a little more. It's all right. There will be bigger discoveries.
If you're lucky, maybe on the 100th time through, I'll get unspooled.
That would not be ideal. Though it would be interesting.
The architecture in Denevron is stunning. It's clear that the Enclave builders were talented. What I wouldn't give to meet them. To think crafters here had stability in their lives, mentors to learn from, and the ability to focus purely on their craft. Such a luxury. And it shows in their work.
If you want to be a weaver now, traveling is a must. But it would be nice to do what we love and have a home.
With a proper forge, too. A full set of tools. Not just what we can fit in the caravan.
Denevron was home to so many before. I wish I could have seen it full of weavers.
Who knows? Maybe Bryn of Carnhaven will go down in history as the one to restore the Enclave to what it once was.
I like your optimism.
If you succeed, I suppose we'll all have a choice to make.
What choice is that?
Do we stick to life on the road? Or do we put down roots? The Iron Walk. Hilda told me all these amazing stories, but seeing it in person... wow.
Sorry, who?
Oh, my mentor. She visited the Enclave regularly before the Surge. I apprenticed under her for a few years.
What did she tell you?
The noise from the forges made sure you'd only have the smiths and their clients around. But on an average day, some serious coin would trade hands. The Enclave's smithing culture was such a draw, it started to cause tensions with the other nations. It didn't help that the Enclave would actively poach the best and brightest. They had deep purses.
I've heard stories of that. Some of the Carnhaven masters had moved and never returned after the veil went up.
The Surge was horrible for everyone, of course, but I reckon a few smithing guilds were happy to not have the competition anymore.
Making the best of it, I suppose.
And make the best of it they did.
Grim, I'm worried. We keep pushing deeper into the Enclave. When do you think we'll start working on a way out of here?
We're the first people through the Veil in almost half a century. Don't you think it's worth taking a look around before rushing out?
For all we know, the Hearthsiders are sending the Arks to attack us. What makes you think we're welcome here?
Welcome or not, we still need to find out what's happened after the surge.
You're right. It's not like we have a way out, anyway.
Denevran is a treasure trove for any lawkeeper. The history this place contains. It's almost overwhelming, or it would be for a lesser academic.
But not for you.
No. Certainly I can parse through decades of lost tomes and solve the greatest mystery of our time. What happened to the Enclave? Why wouldn't I succeed where other researchers who have spent far longer immersed in Weaver culture have failed?
Well, you've certainly got something they don't.
I do?
Me. Kidding. You've got access to the Enclave.
That's exactly it, isn't it? It's the opportunity of a lifetime. What if I don't make the most of it?
All you can do is try. It's all any of us can do.
I suppose you're right.
Lane, could I have my ink pot back? You borrowed...
So, what was it like? Exploring Denevran.
Terrifying, to be honest. I feel like an insect walking alongside the grand architecture, and with hostile arcs around every corner. It just feels like I'm in their world right now.
You'll need to save a few for me to shut down. Eventually.
You'll be back out there soon enough. How's the wing feeling these days?
Oh, getting better all the time. Don't worry about me. I keep thinking about that dead body you found.
Me too. It's hard to forget.
Aside from the obvious, what bothers me most is they didn't have a scry to rescue them. If the Hearthsiders have fallen so far as to have lost that capability, it's troubling.
"33, 34, 35, 36. Gods, we'll need more than that.
Everything all right?
Oh, hey. Yeah, I just can't shake this feeling that we're not prepared.
Prepared for what?
I don't know. Maybe the masked figure stalking you, or the hostile Archons at every turn, or... Sorry, I'm doing it again. This isn't on you.
It's all good. But maybe you should take a break. After all, we can't plan for everything.
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's what we always said at sea.
Right. Lane mentioned you joined the Udean relief efforts.
Ever the gossip, aren't they? Yeah. At 16, I left on Brennig with a trading company to help.
Wow. Isn't 16 pretty young for relief work?
I wanted to go at 15, but it took a year to convince my parents.
I can hardly believe they let you.
After months of begging, I wore them down. I loved life on the water. The rhythm of running a ship. The sun in your face during the day. The waves rocking you to sleep at night. And we were helping people. I think I miss the smell of the ocean the most.
Life on the ocean sounds pretty nice. I've always dreamed of sailing on a ship. Never had the opportunity, though.
I could take you sailing someday if you'd like.
I'd like that a lot.
My seafaring days feel pretty far behind me now. It's been a few years since I left to join Aurea.
Why did you stop?
Always mouths to feed. Critical supply shortages. Not just materials, but medicine. It felt like I could never do enough. So I walked away. I still feel guilty, though.
You probably helped more people in those years than many do in a lifetime. Needing to step away from the work doesn't erase all the good you did. There's nothing to feel guilty about.
I guess you're right. I just wish there was a way to turn off the little voice in my head telling me I should have done more.
Well, I'm happy to have a stern word with it anytime you like.
Thanks. I'd better get back to work, but this talk helped.
A dead body and a hidden cache of materials. It sounds like the start of a Scold's tale.
All we need is a saber conveniently placed on the mantle and we're set.
More seriously, you said you had an idea about that sheet?
Remember that I used to work the trade lanes?
I do.
The dockers always wanted big loads for the cranes. But certain things, like, say, herbs, you'd only ship in small quantities. Over the years, the convoys developed a system where you'd have runners and haulers. Runners would make quick trips and bring small goods to a drop. Haulers would pack the cargo together and make longer hauls to the docks.
You think we're looking at a similar system, then?
Absolutely, I do. It's the sheet you found. That's a requisition for a runner if I've ever seen one. And note how it says Scout Group 23 here? That's a lot of groups.
Which means my mysterious observer is part of a large organization.
And an active one.
When you say requisition...
Think of it like an order. Bread, cheese, carrots. But left at the drop for the runner to prioritize before the next gather. It takes forethought. There's necessary lag between the order going out and being filled. But any logistician worth their salt can see a few months ahead and plan accordingly.
How can you be sure the Enclave folks would use similar methods to yours?
It's centuries old. And you don't fix what wasn't broken. Especially in a crisis. And from the state of the capital, they were definitely in crisis.
Do the items they're asking for seem important?
No, I don't think so. Lane thinks the garble at the bottom might be, but not the order itself. They're prioritizing fabricated items over raw goods.
What would that indicate?
At a guess, our Hearthsiders have lost, or were expecting to lose, production capacity and wanted backup parts.
Kaz, I have to ask. How does it feel having this specific piece of information at hand right when we need it?
Why?
Because if we suddenly needed to know about Calnhaven or export quotas, I would feel pretty special.
How is that a thing you know exactly?
Dad was a miner. A really good one.
Promise you won't tell the others?
I can manage that.
Then yes. Yes, it feels amazing.
What do we do with this information then?
At the bottom of the sheet, there's that series of numbers and letters. Those would represent drop points. I did some digging with Lane, and they're referring to coordinates on a map of the Enclave that was made just before the surge. L7 is part of the capital, see? That's where you found this drop. So, I'm inferring that these other marked coordinates are just as likely to have drops.
I'll check them then.
If nothing else, we could find materials for our own stocks. But I'm hoping there's more.
Maybe where our Hearthsiders are hiding.
Also, Lane was looking over the orders and wanted to talk to you about the writing along the bottom.
More drops, and talk to Lane. Got it.
An abandoned city like Denevran. It must be full of supplies we could use. Do you think you could maybe grab some things for me?
You know I'm happy to help. What do we need?
I've noticed there are more arcs in the city.
So have I.
The upside is, according to Lane's logs, the ones carrying shields could be scavenged for assault. A metal we could use to reinforce all kinds of gear and facilities. A little heat would help in prying it off the arcs.
All right. I'll come back as soon as I have some.
Great. Thanks, Bryn. So, spare a little rasalt for a good cause?
Right here.
Perfect. I was actually thinking it would be good to start stockpiling some Akala hide. The nights get pretty cold here, and we could use it to reinforce our tents and blankets for warmth.
I'll be back in no time.
Thanks, Bryn. Please, hurry. Any luck hunting?
That should be enough for a few blankets and tents.
Oh, that's so great. I don't suppose you would mind getting something else for me?
Yeah, no problem. If you've still got room in the caravan.
I'm just thinking, in an unknown climate, we don't know how fast the seasons might turn here, and as I said, it gets pretty cold at night. We should stock softwood for warmth. Like, a lot of it. To keep our hearth lit, you know?
Oh. Okay. I'm confused. The Akala hide I just brought to you isn't enough?
It's a start, for sure, but we need to be more prepared. Lots of softwood could really save us in a pinch.
Kaz, I've been bringing you all this stuff because I thought it would help you feel better. But honestly, you seem even more anxious now. Are you all right?
No, I'm fine. I really am. I just need to make sure the Weaver Band is okay.
Right. It's just... I'm trying to make sure you're okay.
Please. I really need your help with this.
All right. I guess I'll be back then.
Thanks, Bryn. Come back with it soon. Did you manage to find enough softwood?
If you need more than this, the Don Brennick Pine Preservationists will come for me. Here you go.
Oh, great.
You don't sound as happy as I thought you'd be.
It's just that what I'm realizing is the Weaver Band really needs Drake scales. Like, give or take 90 to be safe.
Wait, 90 Ash Peak Drake scales?
Yeah, not the easiest thing to get, but maybe instead of fighting drakes, you could find one of their nests. I think they shed, right?
Kaz, you know I'd love to spend my days hunting down drakes for you, but 90? What could we possibly need 90 scales for?
Because... It's hard to explain, but... Please, please, can you trust me? I just really need you to trust me.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Casbin, what's going on? Are we outfitting an army?
Because it's... I just think we could...
Don't you think Bryn's got you pretty well stocked at this point?
But... You're right. I got carried away. Sorry.
It's okay.
Thanks for all your help. Excuse me, I'm gonna put all this away now.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
If you say so. Good work, Bryn. We'll take care of the rest of this.
Hey, Bryn. Sorry I got carried away with our... errands.
It's okay, Kaz. What was going on with that, though? Are you all right?
Yeah. Sometimes there's so much to do, it's hard to keep my head on straight.
Maybe you should take a day to relax. Our ongoing disaster isn't going anywhere.
I don't know how anyone relaxes in here. What about you?
Me?
Yeah. What do you do to relax?
You know, the forest around the camp is actually pretty nice. When I need to clear my head, I just take a short walk. The sound of rushing water from the brook is lovely. It always brings me peace.
The growl of Akala stalking you in those treks doesn't pull you out of meditation?
Nah, it comes with the territory.
I'll stick to the campsite.
When all else fails, a nap always helps too.
For Ashar, maybe. As a Kashar, I don't need as much sleep as the rest of you.
Sure, but you need some kind of break from time to time, Casmin.
I'll think about it.
Do you read a lot of Skald's Tales, Kaz?
I do, as a matter of fact. When I can find a transcription. But I'll read just about anything I can get my hands on.
Any favourite storytellers?
Eloisa Farthing. She's a local writer back home. Actually, a lot of her stories are set in Dunbrennig. That's what I like about them. No matter where I am in the world, I can curl up with passages describing our rainy summers or stormy winters. And it's like I'm home.
That's beautiful. Though the weather in Dunbrennig sounds terrible.
It is. What about you? Are you much of a reader?
Of course. Nothing better than curling up with a book by the fire.
Huh. Somehow I wouldn't have guessed.
I think it brings me back to my childhood, too. Not a lot happened in my hometown, so I spent a lot of my time reading or listening to stories from travelers and veterans.
Any favorite books?
Ooh, hard to choose. But maybe The Perennial Skirmish by L.M. Saunton. A fictionalized retelling of Carnhaven's fight for independence from the perspective of an Oberon teenager whose parents are lost in the war.
I haven't heard of it. I'll add it to my list. Sola, Lane, and I have something of an informal book club on the go. We can give you recommendations.
Good to know. I'm surprised Dom isn't involved in that too.
He was, but his invitation was rescinded. The three of us would like to maintain a soothing mood during our meetups. He got too excited and spilled red wine on the pages of our first read, so...
Ah. I see.
Aurea, it's Lane, by the way.
What's that?
They don't like to be called Lane Free. I heard you saying it to Bryn earlier. That's the name their peers chose. Lane is the name they chose.
You wanted to talk about the supply orders?
Indeed. It's about the gibberish along the bottom. Notice how the writing is in a different hand.
Yes, I can see that.
We're looking at a cipher. Someone sharing encoded notes.
Can you give me a quick rundown on encoding so I'm sure I'm following?
A favourite topic of mine? Cipher is a blanket term for securing text so that only an intended recipient can read it. They range from reasonably simple swaps of letters to complex changes that require devices or key sheets to solve. But, as notes quickly added to supply orders, the codes we are dealing with were simple by necessity.
What's your background with ciphers, Lane?
They're something of a hobby for me. Specifically, breaking them.
A fan of knowing secrets?
More a fan of information being shared freely. But also, yes, Udean nobility relies on them heavily, and being privy to the dirty laundry of the nobles is advantageous.
You're sure we're dealing with a code and not just doodles?
While possible, it's not likely that someone would scrawl nonsense on the bottom of official orders. Why do so? To practice calligraphy? To refine their writing? Perhaps. But this is decidedly not calligraphy. Ergo, cipher.
Any initial guesses as to what the cipher says?
Hard to say exactly, but what we know is these orders were for Scout Group 23. So let's assume there is an organized group of Hearthsiders arranging these drops. At a guess, this was an unofficial channel of information passed to those in the field.
Information that would be invaluable to us.
Agreed. Why encode text if it's not significant?
Sounds like we have a cipher to break. I'll keep hitting dead drops.
Any code is easier to break with more samples. You can work on it like any other research project.